Hello and welcome to the Derry Church Kitchen. Today we're going to make a freeze-ahead beef soup. And what we're going to use is a pound of ground beef, sauteed peppers and onions, 1/3 of a cup each, 1/2 of a cup of the chopped carrots, potatoes, they're 1 cup or whatever comes close. This we've already sauteed. You have to saute those with your ground beef, the peppers, and the onions. So we'll put these aside for now. We're going to use frozen green beans, a little bit of garlic, 2 cans of beef broth, diced tomatoes, Italian seasoning, water, and some pepper. Okay, now the first thing you do, like I had said, is you saute your onions, your peppers, and the green, and your meat hamburger. Now you're supposed to use green peppers, but we had some at home that needed to be eaten and they were not green, so it doesn't really matter. So you have that all sauteed, and in your pot, you add your 2 cans of beef broth. Now I might be adding a little more broth later on because I know I have more than one pound of ground beef in there. And you take your tomatoes, diced tomatoes, 1 can. You don't drain it, just use it the way it is. And 1/2 of a cup of your carrots, your cup of potatoes. I know there's more than a cup there, but what do you do with peeled potatoes? Not too much. So we'll put that in there. My soups usually grow right in the pot because sometimes we just don't measure properly. And then the green beans, frozen green beans, that is 3/4 of a cup. And we'll just use this. That looks pretty good. Stir that around. Very colorful. Then your pepper, you have 1/2 a cup of water. You have garlic, and that is 1/2 a teaspoon. And 1/8 of ground pepper. Okay, there we go. Oh, and Italian seasoning is 1 teaspoon. This soup serves, I would say 6 to 8 people. You can freeze it up to 3 months. And when you freeze it, you can, if you're going to take it for lunches, you can freeze it in a microwave safe container. Just don't take it up to the top of your rim of your jar or bowl. You need to have some room to expand, but you can freeze it in your container that you're going to eat it out of at lunch. Just give it a little bit of room. You don't have to defrost this. You can put it in your lunch kettle. That way it's defrosting and it keeps all your other foods cold. So there we have it. And you cook this until the potatoes become tender. Okay? So we'll put that on the heat, and when it comes off, get it bubbling, and there is your make-ahead frozen beef soup, and it's very tasty. You may want to use a little salt, to taste. I don't use a lot of salt, so that's not in the recipe, but enjoy. Remember, germs and Jesus are everywhere, so wash your hands and say your prayers.